You can be.
Everybody ready? Can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right. Time is
Okay.
6:33. The city of East. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we hear
Yes.
you.
Time is 6:33. The city of East Cleveland Finance Committee meeting is called to order via Zoom.
Mhm.
Dr. God, can you call the roll, please?
Okay, Counselor Stevenson,
Present.
Counselor Austin,
Present.
Counselor Gowdy,
Present.
and Counselor Austin.
Present.
We also have Law Director Hemmons on the line, and our Financial Director, Charles Iahan, is present on the call.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone under these conditions for joining us tonight to move the city business forward. I really want to thank any residents that's on the line because I know this is kind of not easy to do. So on behalf of us all, I believe we really appreciate everyone. So first we have remarks of the public on agenda items only.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
question before we do that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Madam Vice President.
Um, Dr. Guy, can you tell me where or which date you sent the agenda so I can see the agenda?
The agenda is on the website, and you got you should have got the content sent yesterday, but if you look on your email today, you'll see the formatted agenda.
You said today, you're saying?
Yeah, the formatted agenda was sent today, but the content for the agenda was sent yesterday. Get it, out to the public.
Is that this Leroy thing? Is that it?
It was say finance committee agenda.
No. Mm-mm.
Look at your Madam Vice President. Look at your group text from yesterday.
Okay. All right. I'll have to get it off the line because I can't.
The
I'm
only
on the computer, so I can't get to that. All right.
I could share the agenda.
I'll get it.
Okay.
I'll just print it off the website.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I could share it right now that everybody can see it real quick.
Yes, please.
if you can, because I don't have it on my I have it on my
There's technology.
laptop and not my home computer. I mean, while we're waiting, do we want to see if the public has any question or, any comments?
Yes, please.
Can you
Remarks to
see
the
it?
public on agenda items only, please.
Can you see it now?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's not it, Charles. That's the regular council.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So is it on the website?
It says finance.
She just sent it like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, the formatted one for
So
finance.
it's now on the website, right?
No, not the formatted one. It's not on the website.
Okay. Okay. I just went to the website and see what was there.
This roll call response of the public, the April monthly financial report, miscellaneous finance items, response to requests of the public, and responsive council and mayor. And also, we can add on if the Lee Road repaving.
Okay, so it's not formal. It's on here.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I see it.
So the Lee Road pavement legislation, that was at the discretion of Council Smith to add from the floor. But you all received the legislation and the attachments yesterday.
No,
You did get it. She just sent it to you an hour ago.
it's an hour ago.
Shh, it's all
No,
right.
no, everybody got it yesterday, and then the numbered version was sent today.
Oh, okay, yeah, she sent it. I see.
Oh, I see it.
Do we have any remarks from the public?
Yeah. Justin Anderson, 14436 Terrace Road. Yeah, so I had a question about, it seems like our charter states and the rules also that when there's a purchase and things like that, we buy things, it's supposed to be like given to all the council members a copy of what we bought, how much it was. I forgot the term they used, but I'll find that out before the end of the meeting. But I was wondering, are we giving the council a list of everything we bought and how much it was instead of just giving them that monthly report with all the numbers crammed up? Do we give that to them of everything we paid for? For instance, if we buy lawnmowers, does it show that we bought lawnmowers and the price it was and all that? That's all I pretty much had to ask. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Do we have any more of our great public online? Okay. Let's get right into it. Just a quick overview of the April monthly financial report.
March.
March, because we are in April now. Absolutely. Thank you.
I can share that on the screen too.
Okay. Please, whatever you can do for the advancement of the meeting. Thank you.
All right. Can everybody see it?
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if you want me to go over, or you can go over it. I just move to the sections you want to you want to just go through it, or you want me to go through it. It's up to you.
I honestly need you to go through it this month because I just read it over the email. You know, I like to have it printed out when I go through it.
Okay. So
I need an 8 pen.
again, we're just in 3 months in. So even the month of March was the beginning of the whole stay at home and the COVID-19 issue. So you won't see any changes to our revenues in March. So everything is pretty much in line. We'll probably start seeing how COVID and the stay-at-home order affects our finances in the months coming up. But March, as you see, revenues, here the comparison from last year. Here's their expenditures compared to last year. Here's the revenues collected so far at the end of March compared to estimated resources. So around March, we should be collecting around 25% of
Sorry about that, whoever that was, whatever that was.
okay. We should be collecting around 25% of our receipts. So if you look at this report here, most of the receipts at the end of March, we collected well over 25%.
Okay, so we still on track so far.
Automated traffic, as you see, we only collected 18% of that. That's from my perspective, that's a little bit of the weather, just because the weather, season of snow, and people obviously just drive a little slower. So that's a factor. And also the factor I'm seeing there is the stay-at-home order.
Right, that was my main questions for the night, was about the traffic collection. I knew that we were going to lose revenue on that. Honestly, we really haven't had a bad winter. I believe it's more have to do with the stay-at-home order,
Right.
and the no schools.
Yeah.
Because really, I can only remember maybe 2-3 days of bad winter so far, and that's great for us.
That's correct. You're right.
Right. Yeah. So that was gonna be my main question. So we down to 18%, where we should also be at a quarter, about 25 at this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you're absolutely right. Most of it definitely probably just doing stay at home, school closing, nobody out on the streets like they typically would be. So and we're probably gonna see, and this is just March, so we're probably gonna see those effects in a couple more months. As long as we're continuing this stay at home order, the more it's going to affect some of these revenues, especially income taxes and local government and traffic camera revenue. But right now, you see, go ahead.
So my next question is, how could you give me an estimate of how much did we actually save this winter?
Save in respect to how much we didn't spend.
Right, in respect to, because I know for a fact that we didn't have to do a lot of overtime. I just know for a fact that we saved some money this year, or this winter season. I know that for a fact.
The savings will be reflected on the next page.
Okay.
I could go to the general fund. The year-to-date expenses compared to what we budgeted for. So,
okay.
Just staying on general fund, as you see, again, 25% you would expect to spend first quarter, and general fund we're gonna spend 24%. So, to give you a dollar amount, we'll just take the 12 million, 1,679 multiplied by 25. So we would have spent a quarter. We would have spent by the end of March, $3 million, a little over $3 million, and we only spent 2.8. So to see the savings in the general fund. So it's a little bit about let's say $150,000 roughly that we didn't spend in the general fund for the first 3 quarters, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was exactly. Yes, sir. I apologize for my interruption.
And actually, and the numbers there, I say 150 is actually right there for you, 136. You see it in green.
Oh, I see it. $136,595.14.
Yes. So that's how much we did not spend in the general fund in the first quarter of the year.
Okay. Okay.
As I mentioned before, the PI fund, the reason why that's red and it's over, and it said we spent over 41% is because we paid out the check to the contractor who's supposed to start work on the gymnasium floor in MLK gym.
And how much was that?
200,000.
200,000.
So out of that 249,000 we spent year to date, 200,000 that it was the down payment for the contractor so he could get the material to start on the floor.
Okay. Great.
So you can actually say that we only spent, as far as other permanent improvement expenditures, $49,827.
Okay. 49,000 on other.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Okay.
And the rest of the charts, as you know, the police department. Here's a comparison of their expenditures. Nothing out the ordinary that they would spend at this time of the year. Fire department, probably see more expenditures in the months of April, just to as their needs for COVID related needs, and we're hoping to get some reimbursement for some of those expenditures for COVID related needs from the police and fire, but mainly fire department.
Please excuse my memory. When does the cops grant run out and we have to put the 3 officers on the general fund?
So we only have 2 cops grants now. One of them already ran out last year. So we had 2. Actually, I'm sorry, we had only 1 left. We had 1 that ran out earlier this year. Actually ran out in February. And so those officers are already on the general fund. It was already budgeted in the 2020 appropriations. Those 2 officers were already appropriated to go on the general fund, knowing that the 1 COPS grant was going to be expiring. So we're only got 1 COPS grant left, 2 officers on there, and that expires in August, and we'll request for a extension on that when the time comes. The police department has already applied for a new COPS grant, and they haven't received any word yet of whether we were awarded or not.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Service department, as you see, compared to last year, they're pretty much on pace of what they spent last year. And as you mentioned, the winter season was not harsh, so that allowed for their expenditures not to be as high.
Beautiful.
And here's your comparison for each department compared to their appropriations. And again, 25% is what you're looking for to spend. And so stands out Parks and Recs, they spend 42%. Again, that's just related to all the MLK expenditures and trying to get it prepared for the renovation and just getting the whole building, somewhat prepared for, the new floor. Service department, Those expenditures are just for gasoline that they had to purchase during the winter season, and all the equipment we continue to buy for the service department. Obviously, more equipment you buy, the more expenditures that are related to all those new pieces of equipment.
Yes, sir.
The law department, the reason why they're high is because they had a hospital claim that was pretty high. Is a claim from somebody that works in the department. So again, when you're self-insured, you can have somebody have something that occurs, and it can, you just never know what the health is and of the employees, and something may happen, and it can skyrocket the appropriation, what was budgeted for the department. So that's why that was high there. And central services, it's about 3% higher than normal. That just really has to do with purchasing some, equipment around City Hall, getting, again, some of the COVID expenditures that we had to purchase to central services and not to any particular department. So that's why those expenditures are high as of right now. And every other department is pretty much lower, below the 25%.
Yes, sir.
And month-to-date report. General fund ended positive balance and ended March 1.9 mil. Street fund deficit. I did talk, the fiscal supervisor would like us to advance the money to these funds that are in a deficit sooner than later, instead of waiting to the end of the year to shore up those deficits. They're talking about to advance these funds so they won't be in a deficit throughout the year. And this is legislation that we have to pass to do that. But they know that a lot of these are the ones that's negative or grants, but they still don't like to see the negatives.
So with the line items that we have a reimbursable grant, they want us. I'm just asking if I can be clear. They want us to take the funding out of the general fund and place it in there before we get reimbursed.
Yeah, so pretty much. It's something that they haven't mandated this, but this is something that they would like for us to do. Yes, they want us to take the money.
So what
out
happens to the funds? Like if we already put them in the line item, so what happens to the funds when we get reimbursed? It just go to our general fund.
Yep, exactly. Yep, that's how it works.
Okay.
How much money are we talking about, Charles?
Wherever you
For all of the negatives.
So added up 85,314. That's street fund. We did get in April, we did get the money back from FEMA. That's 2231. We did get the money back for the purchase of the ambulance. So as of now, it's not 457,000, but let's add it up anyway, just for sake of conversation. And then we have the SPG 507. That is the community development money for the street lights. we changed the use of this grant to purchase street lights, and we just haven't gotten reimbursed yet. So that's 53,833. And then VOCA, that's normally the deficit is normally small there, but we're gonna add that too. That's 4,423. And then the school resource officers, that is the last COPS grant, that's 25,502.27. So that'd be a total of $626,393 if we were to plug all these deficits with the general fund monies.
623,000.
$626,393.86. And so the general fund end of March had $1.9 million. So right now the general fund could technically front that money and still be in the positive.
But a lot of the reimbursement not till towards the end of the year, right?
Quarterly.
Okay.
So we got so that 25,000 for the school resource are already got the reimbursement in April.
Okay.
Like I said, then we got reimbursement for FEMA. We haven't got the reimbursement for the CDBG, the SBG 507. That's still pending. Some technical issues that the community development director and the mayor are trying to work out. So that's, so we could do it and still be in the positive.
And in your opinion, like that would make that would make them look at us in a positive light, or something like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just, they don't like to see negatives. They think negatives, it's having negatives in your funds looks like you're overspending, even in knowing that these are reimbursement, all of them but the street fund. And we already got in our appropriations to transfer. We've been doing it for the last, I believe, 2 years, been transferring money into, or maybe longer than that, maybe past 3 years, been transferring money into the street fund. So they know this, but just again, I think it's a movement trying to get us out of fiscal emergency and to show the state auditor, hey, look at East Cleveland, look at their books. They're not, the books don't look, bad. The books are clean. So I think that's the kind of the thought process in doing this, is to show the state auditor we got clean financials, and to, and convince them that we can get out of fiscal emergency.
Yeah, because I think that, I mean, even with me, in my mind, I believe that'll look real good. Everything, nothing negative, and still have a positive fund in the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I just hope it don't affect us the way we've been fortunate enough to do business, and put the funds back and use funds for things that we need at that moment. I just hope it don't affect things like that.
Yeah, that's, and right now, that was something that Brent mentioned like in January, February. Now with the COVID, that changes up things, because the general fund, we're looking at 1.9 now, but there's, some projections from the state, of lost revenue from that, with obviously sales tax, income taxes. Some businesses, I believe in East Cleveland, I don't know all the names, but I believe some businesses have closed because of COVID-19 and the state stay-at-home order. So the question is, can we afford to front the money now? We could have back in January, where everything was okay, but can we do it now? And I don't have the answer right now. I want to say leaning towards no.
Right.
But can we, is there a way that we can pay this down like quarterly, pay so much of it down?
Yeah, so we may not have to do it a lump sum. Yeah, we can probably
Great question.
quarterly
Great.
advance the money.
Right, like every quarter, pay so much of it down, so it does, over a period of time, it does look like we don't have any outstanding excessive debt.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
that probably.
it'll reduce over, say, the next 3 quarters.
That probably be that's a good idea, and that probably be a good strategy at this point to
Right.
kind of just
Versus
monitor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
versus just
because
taking all the 600,000, that could put us in a strain.
and if we pay quarterly, I'm hoping that just say we get to the third quarter and we're about to pay, I'm hoping that one of our reimbursables kick in.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I make a note, Brother President?
Yes, sir, please.
As we get a little bit closer to those, because they're talking about how they're going to assist us in, providing some resources. Although the state said they may have a reduction throughout this period of up to 40% of their revenues. So if there have been often set aside, maybe they can advance those set asides in total, asking to have a early release of those funds to give us that financial relief that we need to cover down on those reimbursables, especially if they're associated with state provisions. Over.
Yes, sir. Mr. Finance Director, is that possible?
Yeah, that's just working with this. That's the state and talking to the legislators and trying to convince them to do something like that. I hope that everybody realize they're gonna have to tap into their rainy day fund. I think it's been publicized, with all that's going on. So they're gonna have to tap into that to shore up their budget. And then they're gonna shore up their budget, and then the rest will be trickled down to the cities and the counties. So it's only about timing thing at this point of as everybody's scrambling and trying to figure out how this is impacting the stay at home or is impacting the resources and them using their rainy day fund. And like you said, Council Austin, when I think they know they're gonna have to, it's a matter of when they're gonna be able to, like you said, can they give it to us sooner than later? I'll talk to the mayor about that. I don't necessarily have any contacts with the state. I think he does. And I'm not sure you all may have, our state reps, Ken Yuko, I think is one of them, I'm not sure.
Ken Smith.
Yeah, Ken Smith, thank you. Those are the, individuals that I would reach out to and see what do they know about what the state is, when and what they're looking to do as far as for the cities.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir. There's no more questions on that part. We can move on. Charles, you have anything else to add to your report?
No, the report, that's what it is. But as I said, look to see the effects of the stay-at-home order. Start seeing them in the next couple of months.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Director. Next, we move on to miscellaneous finance items.
This is miscellaneous.
First miscellaneous finance item I would like to discuss is the legislation that I brought forward last week in light of this devastating disease, this virus that's going around. We have to be real careful. Looking at some numbers, 50 new deaths reported in the last 24 hours in Cuyahoga County. I'm sorry, in the state of Ohio. 7,280 cases reported to this date in the state of Ohio. 324 deaths in the state of Ohio. When I brought my legislation up last week to have the number set at 10 Patreons per store, that was to preserve the health, interests, rights, needs of the people. Last week, at the meeting, at the city council meeting, the mayor discussed with me a possible edit per square feet. And at that time, I asked the mayor to send me some information, which has been a week now, to send me some information of how many total people that would mean can be in this Nemo's liquor store, which I am coming broadcasting live from Nemo's liquor store. We don't have time to. The more and more I thought about it, I had a week to think about it. I see stores that's, for example, the dollar store down by Strathmore. They understand. They have, I believe it's 10 or 20 people at a time. This is about life and death. This is not about what businesses will get upset, who will get mad, any of that. I'm going to get out right now. I should go in the next store, but I don't want to risk my life. But I'm looking at all these people in this liquor store. No disrespect to anyone, but like I said in the email, that's my legislation. I understand the mayor might want to edit, Madam Law Director. I don't want to will. But it's not about what anyone wants in the legislation. I brought that legislation forward to serve the health of the people. I truly don't even understand all the 6 feet per inch and all that. I'm done with trying to satisfy people who don't care about us. It's 1,000 people in this liquor store right now as we speak, and something needs to be done. And I'm gonna either do it this council way, or I know how to get my community organization, and we'll do it like we did them stores last week, and bring unwanted attention to East Cleveland. I'm trying to see what all.
Ernest, you need to
Hello?
get the. Hi, how you doing? This is what
How you doing, Councilwoman Gowdy?
Yes, we need to actually get the police involved in that, and let them know how to stand firm of what we doing.
Brother President, can I make a note?
At first, we need to put something in place.
And making sure that it's 10 people. Making sure that it's 10 people. No
Can I
more
make a
than-
note, Brother
Right,
President?
but-
Hey, how you doing?
Yes, absolutely.
I was asking if, I think there's an opportunity. Yeah, I think there's an opportunity for us to actually get in the legislation correctly in a way that makes sense. Because if the formula is 6 feet away from anyone, 6 times 6 is 36. And if we divide the square foot of each store by 36, that should be the number of persons that can be safely operating within that space, with consideration for the free-flowing aisle, obviously. Go ahead.
Well, I need the information that I asked for last week, because this not nothing. This not anything to play with, and I don't have time to be waiting weeks after weeks until we ready to get the legislation right and vote on it. I'm about to get my group out here and do what we do, because I think all kind of people who I know don't live around here coming down here to go to this liquor store. This liquor is not essential. And the numbers, believe it or not, the numbers in these Cleveland, we up to almost 20 people that reside in East Cleveland who has caught this virus.
Ernest,
If my colleague understands the square foot and he can show me, that's fine. I just
Done.
need to know specifically how many people can come in this liquor store at one time. Because right now, it looks like that it's not a virus, like they don't have a care in the world. And that's how it's been from day one of this situation. I just watched Showtime. I just watched the shoe store across the street sneak some people in.
you can call emergency meeting. And I
Well,
will
we have,
support you.
we have, and I understand what you're saying, Ernest. The legislation really needs to be clear, and the more I look at it, the broader it needs to get. And I don't want to hold it up, but there's the piece that goes in for about the stores. But I think we still need to add one more piece because we got apartment buildings that's going crazy doing the same stuff too. So I will get that piece to you tomorrow morning. If we have to go to the liquor stores to set them straight, council, I think that's what we need to do. And we can all convene on that liquor store and shut him down if he doesn't do what he's told to do.
Yes, man. I appreciate all of my colleagues, Madam Gowdy, Councilman Austin, Madam Vice President. I appreciate. Now, see, this is something that I truly believe that we all agree on. We just need to get the language right because we can see in the police, but if it's nothing on our books, you know.
Right, and what my other concern was, what process are we going to use? Once this legislation is cut, how are we going to get this legislation out to all the businesses and the appropriate people in this city? Is it going to, I mean, how are we going to do that? Are we going to mail it to them? Are we going to hand deliver it to the owners? What is our process for that?
Each one of us can do our own ward.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, each one of us could do our own work. And honestly, all the stores are not a threat. So if we can concentrate on the ones first, that's a threat. I believe the word will go around because I don't want to punish anyone who's doing it right. Like I say, the dollar store is just as big as this liquor store, if not bigger. And the dollar store only let certain amount of people in at one time.
Right. Okay.
We need to hold emergency meeting so we can get it together, so we'll know it can get this passed and hold them accountable. Each store.
You know,
I'll get my part done tonight and get it to you all tomorrow.
Right. Because I like that piece that Council Vice President put, and I agree with Councilman Austin, and I agree with Council Gowdy. And now that we have this Zoom, I believe all of us know how to use it. We could call for, yes, I would like to call for a special meeting at you all's convenience to pass this, to talk and discuss and hopefully pass some sort of legislation.
I'm ready whenever.
I support.
Okay, so we'll wait for Council Vice President to get that send information, and we put it all together. And Councilman Austin is gonna fill me in more all the way about the 6 feet per person and the 6 inches per the building. Like I say, honestly, like, you know, when the mayor said to me last week, I was, you know, because I don't want to hold everyone accountable and everyone is not doing the wrong thing, but I just like to get the information that I asked for. I want to know the breakdown of how many people would that allow in this liquor store. And like I said, I'm in the parking lot now and it's packed. Stay packed.
And it shouldn't be.
So we will continue that tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Next, miscellaneous is the Shaw reunion. When I saw the legislation last week, as you all know, I like to brainstorm, and so I'll be honest, I'm not really touching that one.
Well, let me
I'm not really
begin
touching that one.
because I think my name was on there for supporting that process, but I don't know how that happened. Um, but Dr. Guy took care of it in the minutes for me. And you all know that the follow-up was a 2-page memo from me regarding turning our park into a parking lot. And so my position on that has not changed.
Thank you. And me brainstorming.
We
I just
definitely,
can't. I just can't go down in the history of East Cleveland as the elected officials who just destroyed the
What we have left of a park.
yeah and really the reunion, the spirit of that weekend. I won't be a part of destroying the spirit of that weekend. Now, if we wanna put all charges on the Shaw alumni, that's fine with me. Also, I did some checking. I know we had a very light winter. I also did some checking about how much does it cost. I know for a fact that that weekend has a lot of volunteers. Um, I really can't hear no more about all the money that the city spend on that weekend because it's really not a lot to try to hit all those people with $20 parking. It don't add up to me. It don't add up to me. By the time the service department get out there to clean up, the volunteers done cleaned up most of it. And I just had to search in my mind, search in my brain, converse with a few people, and I will not be a part of messing up that weekend. If we want to charge the Shaw alumni, I mean the alumni group for all the stalls and whatever little bit of cleanup that we do have to pay for, that's fine with me. But to take everyone's fun away, hey my brother, to take everyone's fun away that's coming to visit home, just for us to try to get some revenue, I can't be a part of that getting revenue off the heads of the people. I'm tired of that as it is. So that's my take on it.
Um,
And I will entertain anyone else. You can just go.
Well, I took a look at some information also. I think we have an opportunity to kind of make the administration kind of show us what you're talking about. Because I don't think they're talking about going too far into the park. It was like the entry over there, something about some areas that they want to have the parking, and people are going to park wherever they want to park. And if they just not make I guess, how can I say it? Not necessarily have a fee set for parking in this area. If you say don't park there, you take a chance to park there, you get a ticket, you pay the ticket. You know, maybe it's a $10 ticket instead of a $25 ticket, but you know, there are ways to do what they're trying to do without causing an exceptional disruption in everybody's weekend. But more to follow on the process, and let's have them lay out on a map exactly where you asking for controlled parking at. But there is a way to do it, and it has a respectable way to do it. So let's have them do that extra legwork required so that we can better understand what they're actually trying to do without just causing another opportunity for feeing out the people that want to come there and have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Madam Law Director, if you can hear me, that's another thing. That's another piece of information that I asked for last week from our great mayor. I want to know the streets, and I want to know the part of the park that he planned on charging people on. And I haven't got any information yet.
Okay.
So I'm
Can you hear me?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll ask him tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
now
Thank
while
you
we're
very much, Madam
we're
Director.
on miscellaneous, Charles, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I got a question. And it's probably gonna take us back, but I'm concerned and I want to know what our timeline is for responding to all of those audit findings from the prior year's audits. I think there was almost 30 audit findings that the city needed to respond to. can you tell me where we are with that?
We have developed many policies over this first quarter, and we sent it to the fiscal supervisor. And because of the timing and everything, we haven't heard anything back. We were supposed to have a meeting April 20. Well, first it's supposed to be March 19th. Then that got canceled to April 21st. And then that got canceled because of the whole COVID. And so I don't know what we sent them, if they satisfied with, but we have worked on clearing up some of those findings. Right now, we are going through getting our 18 audit done right now, as council passed legislation to allow the mayor to extend the contract with CUNY. So right now, we're getting that done, and at the same time, we're working on our 2019 financial statements. So we've been busy, even with the COVID. We are still working on all the financial issues. So hopefully, I'll reach out to a fiscal supervisor I haven't heard from in quite some time. I'm pretty sure she's working at home. But I'll reach out to her and ask her about what we sent and to get kind of a status update to hopefully answer your question.
Thank you, sir.
Can I jump in?
Yes, I'm about to ask. Any other? Yes, go ahead. Absolutely.
Yeah, Charles, I was asking you in the past, and I'm asking you again now, about Brandon King and the chief truck, Brandon King truck and the police truck. How much is paying for it? Is it in? How much did we pay for it, or do we have any installments on them, or is it cash?
Both vehicles were purchased.
Yeah, the purchase. How much?
$45,000.
A piece?
That's correct.
Okay, 25,000. And the purchase orders, that's the full.
Yes, we get the purchase order support there.
Because I was asking you for the person order for each items that we spend. You know, and you supposed to have gave me the purchase order of all items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I seen all you sent a lot of requests. I haven't forgotten them. So I'm definitely going to give you those requests as soon as possible. The first one I was going to give you was the gas card. I was going to give you the gas. You asked about the gas purchases. I was going to give you that very soon.
Okay, so I would love you to inform all the councils okay. Every month that you're supposed to be giving us the purchase orders, would you please give it to us each month so we can be on and up to date? Because you're supposed to be giving purchase order each item.
Okay.
Can I make a note or a recommendation?
Absolutely.
You know, there are levels of approval. So if it would benefit the council to have items that pertain to a certain level of approval, because there are purchases for, protractors and ink pens and things that may not be relevant to things that I would personally want to see. So if we set a threshold, things that are, $100 or more, things that are durable or non-expendable, that things like that, there are things that, do not lose their identity through use. Those expendable supplies, we don't care. And believe it or not, fuel has controls on it that will send people to jail very fast. And those few cars are reviewed monthly outside of the city even. So more to follow on the use of those cards, and you know, that's where they're assigned to individuals, so those individuals can be held responsible and actually prosecuted if they misappropriate and or misabuse those cards. So I recommend we actually discuss some of the things to kind of reduce the amount of effort or burden on the finance department for some of the things that are maybe not relative to what we're interested in as a body. So more to follow on setting those left and right limits as a team. I'm 100% with you. Thank you.
Mr. Councilman Austin, no disrespectful, but of you thinking that way, but I do want purchase order of each item. I like to keep the eye on the money. And I don't care if it's a pencil. Every dollar, every penny counts.
All righty.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And brother president of finance committee, I support you, and I think we do need to kind of respectfully set a tone so we kind of keep on.
Hello?
He disappeared.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Councilman Austin.
Thank you.
Next, we have remarks of the public.
Hi, I'll go. I just moved back to East Cleveland. I'm a student at Cleveland State. Last semester, my apartment kind of. I'm sorry, what was that?
Name and address.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Oh, Taisha Blade. I live at 16,000 Terrace Road. I just moved back to East Cleveland at the end of February. My apartment caught on fire last semester, so it brought me back home. So that's cool. I like it. I'm majoring in journalism right now, so I've decided to just get involved with the council and see what you all got going on and how I can help. So yeah, this has been a very interesting meeting. There's been some great facts and opinions that have been going on, and I'm just trying to see like how I can help really, because I mean, I'm part of the city too. So yeah, after graduation, I'll have a lot of free time on my hands and just trying to get whatever, the city needs to get the word out. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is my first council meeting. So yeah, hi everybody.
What is your address again?
16,000 Terrace. It's at Crystal Tower.
Oh, so you're in my ward.
Yeah, I moved here at the end of February.
Okay. Welcome to the ward.
Thank you.
Ms. Blade, we really hello?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yes, we really appreciate you tuning in, and I know Council Vice President going to share her phone number with you, and
yep.
For sure. Yeah,
you
I just knew it was fate when I mean, apartment fire is nothing that you want to go through, but then when I had to come back home, I was like, I'm in journalism, I got to do this. So yeah.
Can you call 681-2310 and leave your number in the council office, and then the council clerk will forward it to me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, because you actually called and talked to you.
Yes, Dr. God talked to you before.
Yeah, so I know you were asking about the mayor, so your information was sent to the mayor. I don't know if you heard back from him or anything.
Not yet.
So yeah, Counselor Stevenson, you want to talk to her.
Okay. And whatever steps moving forward that I can help, yeah, I'm here. I'm willing to.
Thank you. Any other great residents?
Yeah, it's residents, excuse me. But no, I wasn't talking to you, Ernest. I was talking to someone else here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Justin Anderson, 14436 Terrace Road. I just had a few questions about for Charles. Hopefully he can answer them. before we leave. So per the charter and the revised code, it says that all purchase orders and requisitions are to be given to the council members. So if we spend 20,000 on computers, it should be given to the council members of what kind of computers and how we paid for it and all that stuff. So I'm wondering, has he been giving those to the council members? Because I know I was talking to the Honorable Councilwoman Juanita Gowdy, and she said to me that she could never, she couldn't verify that he has ever gave her any monthly purchase orders and monthly reports as far as exactly what we spent the money on, line item by line items. But she has been getting her monthly report. So, but I believe that if that is true, that he needs to start giving those purchase orders up every month, and also the requisitions, those need to be given up. So that's one concern about the finances. Two, Councilwoman Gowdy, she's using my phone to participate in this meeting, and I tell you, I'm not going to be able to keep doing this with her because this is bothering my time. Now it seems that you all should have probably got them cell phones when Councilman Martin was requesting it, because I believe in the city and I care about the city so much that I'm taking all this time to keep doing these meetings for her to be on it, because her phone she's not computer savvy. And but so hopefully y'all could do something to help Councilman Martin, who's not on any of the meetings because he's not computer literate, and heard too by some type of up-to-date technology. And that's pretty much it. And also last question is about how much have we spent for police overtime for this year, or just the last month, if that makes it easier, because I can't see the financial report on this little screen. And that will conclude my time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. Next, we have response to requests of the public from the mayor and the council office. Mayor office, I don't know if Madam Law Director or Mr. Finance Director would like to respond.
All the requests will be followed up with the mayor tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Finance Director.
I will, the council wants all the POs, where I have a report that shows at the end of the month all the purchase orders that are outstanding. But you want a report, or you want the physical copies of all the purchase orders, just please let me know which one you want, and I can provide that. Far as cell phones, I think this council talked about this several months ago. Not this council, but the previous council. And at that time, I think it was majority didn't want to go to looking to purchase, and I did mention this to the fiscal supervisor at the time, and it was recommended that it was not a good idea to start purchasing cell phones, not just for council, but for the city employees itself. So the council wants to revisit that. That's up to council. As far as devices, I believe you want to go through Dr. Guy in regards to that. I believe there's been some conversation back and forth on devices, or a device, a laptop, to be able to do work for Councilor Gowdy. So I'm not sure if that's been resolved in that, but it's out of my area as far as I don't get anything for any department. That's a lead, or even the council, a leader to council decide what they should get. But far as cell phones, again, that was a conversation that was had several months ago. It seemed like it died. If council as a whole or wants to bring it up again, I could bring up the issue again with the fiscal supervisor and go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Finance Director. Thank you.
Yeah.
Councilman Austin.
Thank you, Brother President. I appreciate you. I have no further comment for the group. I do appreciate everybody getting together, and may you all stay healthy and be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Juanita Gowdy.
Yeah, I really want to thank you, and I do need my computer so I can be the computer that Dr. Guy had offered me. Looked like it was outdated and it was all old, and it was supposed to be new computers that we supposed to have, and I definitely need a upgrade phone so I can do my work as a councilwoman, my duties.
Thank you, woman. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Gowdy. Council Vice President Corinne Stevenson.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's been a very adventurous day, I can tell you that. As far as this telephone thing, I don't know if the fiscal supervisor says they're not going to allow it. I think we need to look at some other alternatives. There's a couple things that go on with the cell phone business, and there's some things that we also need to shore up. And one of those things is how we do business. As a result, with this cell phone thing, what I spoke to Dr. Guy about was, and if you look at your business cards, everybody's cards has the office number on them. And so that way we can kind of control and see where the hot spots are when calls come in about different things. And believe me, we do get quite a few calls. And it helps us also to log and organize our approach to some things. So if the fiscal supervisor said we can't have a phone, I mean, we can't have a phone. But we do have computers that are capable of mounting this Zoom program. And so, Ms. Gowdy, if you need help getting that on the computer, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you.
Thank you, but it's not so much of my computer, but I really thank you for the help. I don't have a computer to do my duty, and Martin have a brand new tablet. He definitely have a brand new tablet, and that's something that I really need, and I appreciate the offer. But we also have a budget that it could have went into, because that's what they was talking about. And they told him not to buy, told Brandon King, our mayor, not to buy the trucks, but he bought the trucks. So if we can find money for trucks, we definitely can find some money for some cell phones.
Well, you can find the money, but if the fiscal supervisor says no, they're not going to pay for it.
They told him not to buy the.
Again, it wasn't. Again, the truck was it was a recommendation at the time. I think he wanted to lease the truck, and they did not want to go into a recurring expense with the truck. That's why the truck was purchased. You have the fiscal supervisor. I believe everybody has her contact information. At the time, I believe to reach out to her, talk to her yourself, and and go from there, versus, you know, go through me and get it from the source.
Can I
As
make
far
a
as a
comment?
tablet, I don't know anything. Dr. Guy, please.
Yeah.
I have no idea about Councilor Martin having a tablet that was purchased by the city. Please help
Yeah.
me.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so the process is I make a request and the request goes to the IT department. So that would be Claude, who does the, you know, the research and everything on the specs of the item that's being requested. And then he's the one that makes the purchase on my behalf. So if I ask for, you know, anything IT goes through Claude, and he gets me what's been asked for according to our budget. So, you know, so what you got was what was produced by the IT department. Councilor Gowdy has nothing to do with me personally. So, and
I did not say it was you.
Councilor Martin received the same item. I think who else? Councilor Stevenson also received the same item.
Well, Councilor Martin told me he got a brand new tablet and he did not go through no IT to get it. So
Yeah, they brought
thank
it
you.
to me.
Thank
They brought
you.
it to me
Thank
to
you.
and to you all, and then there's paperwork associated with each item. So, Councilor Gowdy, you refused to sign the paperwork that went along with that item.
Thank you all very much. Really want to thank my colleagues. Want to thank our great clerk, Dr. Guy, our law director, our finance director, our cameraman Drew, for putting all this technology to work for us. I really want to thank Mr. Anderson and Ms. Blade for your sacrifice of time to see about what's going on under these circumstances. I really thank you all. The cell phones, I remember the cell phones, and I remember the fiscal, because I'm on the fiscal commission. I remember them saying no. But if this a whole new council, if council wants to revisit it, no, that could be done at any time, and I would encourage any one of us to call the fiscal supervisor whenever we have questions that we feel are not being answered. That's for one. Last week, and I'm just saying, last week, the computer that we were on in the mayor office, it does work. And that was the computer that I was told that was attempted to be given to Councilwoman Gowdy. I'm not saying anything else about it except for that I know that it works. That's all I have to say about that. Oh, I want to give condolences to Mrs. Quinn, who passed away, longtime resident of Strathmore, who passed away last week. Her children attended East Cleveland City Schools, the White Quinn, and just want to give our condolences to their family. Want to give our condolences to the Terry family. Bishop Buford Terry passed away at the church on 2nd Avenue. And a really big acknowledgement to Mrs. Helen Hubbard, longtime resident from the 70s, and Allegheny Circle. She just so happened to be Dr. Guy's mom. She was, as you all know, well respected in the community, well involved in the community. And I'll be doing some things in the very near future to commemorate the great Helen Hubbard, because you just don't get many people to stay involved for all those years. From, you know, she's been the president of Allegheny Circle from the 70s. And even for example, when I first got on council, when a lot of people was frustrated, she was the first one to reorganize the Allegheny Circle Block Club. I know people hear a lot of different stories about what block club or community group came back first. So in my mind, community groups and the block clubs are two different things. Mrs. Helen Hubbard was the first one to reform her block club at Allegheny Circle, knocked on every door and called every phone, got all the residents who were disgruntled over the years and was just done with everything. She had them all come out, and we had great meetings right out there on the streets of Allegheny Circle, right down the streets, just like I like to have them. So again, there'll be more to come on that, to commemorate the great Helen Hubbard, and to commemorate, we need to start commemorating a lot of East Clevelanders, past and present.
Mhm.
The fact is that a lot of these street names that East Cleveland is named, a lot of these street names we have, the bottom line is they were, a lot of them were slave owners and things of that nature. So we have people in our lifetime that we need to really commemorate and hopefully give flowers to while they still here.
Mr.
But
President,
the ones that has made an impact,
yes,
the ones that have made an impact in our community, we definitely have to commemorate them at this present time.
Mr. President, might I add about Helen Hayes? This is Law Director Himmons. She would always go with me to court and follow the process of the trial or whatever hearings we had. When I needed citizen support and citizen participation, she was right up there, upfront and personal. And I just want to add my condolences and my regard for Mrs. Helen Hubbard.
Thank you all.
I really thank you, and because Madam Law Director, I will be talking to you real soon, along with my colleagues. I'm just brainstorming on something, and I think everyone that will agree it's a great thing that I'm brainstorming on. Well, I hope everyone agrees on it. And again, we have to commemorate our great people of present day. Like I say, a lot of these street names are filled with, it is what it is, filled with former slave owners and things of that nature. And I think that needs to change. So with that being said, I thank you all, and I will now entertain a motion.
Before you go away,
Yes,
Mr. Irby lost his mother.
Oh my God.
I did not know that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he lost his mother Saturday, I think.
Oh my God, Carly.
Oh,
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Oh my God.
I would like to recommend that we step up these resolutions to these people.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Well, if you all can get me, because I have some here, it's no problem. I just need the information to get
Brother
out.
President,
Of course. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to remind us all that, while we're going through this thing, I think we need to take a moment to just kind of think about, revisiting, or I heard a robocall that went out today. I think the council may be able to either tap on or have a message that we share with the mayor that goes out with the robocall to our residents, let them know that we are still here and that we care, and that regardless whether they're on council or not, if you have a staple in the community that has been lost or that is in a position where they absolutely need somebody to come by and check on them, and it's a lot. I think we need to have a part of that robocall be reflective of, you know, reaching back out to your council person and, you know, kind of getting a little bit more involved. I get personal calls all the time, and, you know, council vice president and those that participate in the feeding today, that went a long way for a lot of people. The mayor talked about a resident that received a little bit of food today that broke down crying. So we need to get back out there and continue to do the things that we are expected to do. So thank you very much, Brother President and the rest of the council.
Thank
I
you
move that
very
we
much.
adjourn.
And now with that, I would like to entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Thank you
Later.
all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Ending the meeting. Thank you.